Hey guys, welcome to another movie review where we will be discussing Hulu exclusives movie Prey. Now this is another installment into the Predator series, so I'm looking forward to reviewing it and I hope you are looking forward to listening to it, so let's go ahead and take off.
Hello there, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and children.
So just like I said, I'm excited to go ahead and review this movie only because as a Predator fan myself, there's been a lot of movies out there that were just okay. Alien vs. Predator was good on its own, was excited to see that finally you have Predator versus Alien, which they kind of teased at the end of Predator 2 with Danny Glover. Now, with that movie and everything after that, they were just okay. Right? It was PG-13 for Alien vs. Predator. They try to make it R with Alien Requiem, but they just lost a lot of the key characteristics that the Predator movies had, the first two. Now, when it comes to Prey, though, they, in full disclosure, they did great. They went back to the original roots, kind of made it what the Predator movies were originally like with Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the 80s. Now, this was directed by Dan Trachtenberg. It did star Amber Midthunder as Naru because it takes place 300 years ago with the Comanche Nation. Now, you do have Amber's character, Naru, who is, of course, kind of like the oddball out of the group. They always tease her and make fun of her, saying that she's not a skilled warrior. But let's face it, throughout this movie, she showcases exactly why she is probably the best not only at hunting and skills, but she is the best at basic combat and basic survival techniques. And because of that, that's what gives her the strong point against this predator that we find later on, terrorizing the land. Now, I will say this predator is not an evolved predator that we know of later down the line of the movies. For example, the helmet that he wears is not really technology based that we know him from the later on movies like the 80s and go on and so on and so forth, but really it's more of like a bone skeleton. Then you have his usual targeting sensor that has the 3 dots. It doesn't use laser technology to shoot laser bolts as more laser blasters as it does basic arrows with homing signals attached to it. So there are certain elements in there where the Predator is less evolved than what we know him from in the earlier movies. And that's okay, because it shows the dynamic and the evolution of that character, basically. And that's honestly not only surprising, and a sigh of relief, really, because you want something different, and that's exactly what this Predator showcases. Now, I will say that the CGI is okay. I mean, the whole bear sequence that you see in the trailer, you can absolutely tell that certain characteristics of this movie is CGI. There's no way of hiding that. I will say, though, the cinematography for the last fight between Predator as well as Naru is wonderfully done. The coloration of it is fantastic. It's very eye-popping as far as the blood of the Predator. It just pops out with that green. It's amazing. The storyline is very well thought out with the main character. Now, there's not really anything negative I really have to say about this movie because, again, as a Predator fan, I've been disappointed with the movies in the past. This is going back to the original roots of why the original two Predator movies were so popular and done so well. Now, I'm looking forward to the sequels and any other movies that they maintain focus on that has these certain key elements for. I, for one, am, again, excited for it, just because of the fact that they did this so well, and they need to keep with this formula. Otherwise, the Predator movies are just going to continue to go down and not be mainstream theater-based movies, as really they've been progressing towards. But this is a good, steady climb up of a movie, especially if you're a Predator fan, and loving the actual character itself and the skill tactics and the survivalist aspect of it. Now, I hope they do more of a horror aspect and more of a horror stretch on the next one, just because I feel like the Predator can be easily done as a horror character, very scary wise as far as jump scares and stuff like that. If they do it correctly, it could be done phenomenally. But other than that, this movie was a good stepping stone to the next film and where they need to go. So I want to give kudos to everybody who was part of the film, because it was just nicely done and a breath of fresh air from the continuation of the movies that we've been having. So with that, that is my review. I hope you guys liked it. I can't say, if you are a Predator fan, I can't say enough to go watch the movie or go see the movie. Find a friend who has a Hulu subscription, because you do need to see this movie. And if you have seen it, then let us know. Let us know what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Was there certain characteristics that you didn't like? And also, for those of you that are wondering, the dog doesn't die in this movie. So there you go. You already know it's a good movie. So with that in mind, again, follow all of us on the social platforms as well as YouTube specific, and be on the lookout for the next review.